You're not lazy. If laziness was the problem, you'd feel light. You'd waste the day and sleep like a rock. But you don't. You feel pressure. You feel that low-level itch in your chest when you're avoiding something. That isn't laziness. That's friction. Your brain is running a safety protocol. It does this for the same reason it always has, to steer you away from discomfort, uncertainty, and exposure. The task isn't hard on its own. It's hard for what it might prove, that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, or that you'll fail, you'll be judged, or you'll have to carry responsibility once you begin. So you delay. Not out of love for wasting time, of course. Your nervous system just prefers familiar ground. And here's the good news. If it's a mechanism, it can be trained. Not with speeches or feeling inspired, with an instruction that works even on a flat, ordinary day. The 60-second start rule. The real battle isn't the full hour. It's the first minute. Most people lose before they even touch the work. They lose in the pregame, in the "I'll start after I do something" cycle. So we cut through it. 1 minute. That's the entry. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside you. When a task matters, your brain can read it as risk, not physical danger, more like social one. Maybe ego or identity stuff, the fear of looking foolish or being exposed. So your body reacts before your logic catches up. You get a little tense, your attention starts sliding around, and suddenly your mind remembers 20 other things that feel safer to do right now. You start hunting for clean, easy exits, anything that feels productive without actually touching the hard thing. That's why you can spend hours on small nonsense and feel fine, then completely freeze on the one task that would actually move your life forward. You don't procrastinate. You procrastinate hardest on the stuff that changes your status. Like a conversation you've been avoiding, a project that puts your name on the line, or a skill where you might look like a beginner again. Because once you start, the fantasy ends. No more, "I could do it if I wanted," or "I just haven't had the right time." Once you start, reality has something to say. And that's where a lot of people flinch. So they label themselves lazy, weak, undisciplined. They talk to themselves like an enemy. Then they try to fix it by stacking pressure on top. That usually backfires. Pressure doesn't calm the system, it convinces the system the threat is real. What works better is controlled exposure. You show your brain, quietly, repeatedly, that starting won't kill you. Not tomorrow when you feel perfect, but today, in 60 seconds. And here's the rule. Pick one task, not a to-do list, 5 priorities, just one target. Now choose an entry move so small it barely registers. No drama, no big promise, just a first touch. Not finish the report, write the whole script, or train for an hour. Think smaller. Think doorway. Open the document and type the title, or create a blank file and name it. Maybe just put your shoes on and stand up. Walk to the sink, fill your bottle, come back. Lay your notes on the desk, or put the dumbbells somewhere you can't ignore. Then set a timer for 60 seconds. For that 1 minute, you're not chasing brilliance. You're not grading yourself or doing the "am I focused yet" check. You're staying in contact. That's all. Hands moving, eyes on the work. Just 1 minute. When the timer ends, you're allowed to stop. And that's not you quitting, that's the design. A minute is small enough that your brain doesn't panic. It doesn't feel like you signed a contract, more like a quick test you can pass. And once you move, something shifts. That heavy feeling in your head starts shrinking. The task stops being a shadow and turns into an actual object. And objects are easier to handle than monsters you imagined. Most fear lives in anticipation.
Action cuts it down to size. That's the point of the 60-second start rule. It makes starting repeatable, and repeatable starts shape identity. Not the identity you talk about, the one you can prove. After the first minute, you've got two paths. You can stop. Still a win. You practice the entry instead of feeding avoidance. Or you keep going. If you keep going, don't demand a heroic session. That turns the work into punishment in your mind. So just split it. If you want an hour, don't stare at 1 hour. Break it into 3 rounds of 20 minutes. 20 minutes is short, clean, doable. It feels like controlled effort, not a prison sentence. You can go like this: work 20, take 3 to 5, work 20 again, final break, 20.
This works for a simple reason. Your brain hates vague suffering. 1 hour of focus can feel like a cage. 20 minutes feels like a mission you can finish. You don't have to love it, just complete the round. Now make it even easier. Most people try to solve procrastination inside their head. They try to think their way into action. But the real fix is often the setup. If distraction is sitting right next to you, you'll reach for it. That's not you being broken, that's normal attention. So change the environment. Put your phone in another room. Close the extra tabs. Give yourself one screen and one job. Make it almost boring in a good way. Boring means fewer temptations. If you need music, pick one track and let it run. Don't switch it every 2 minutes. If you need tools, lay them out before the timer starts. Now for the deeper layer. Some tasks feel heavy since they're not just tasks, they're standards. Train seriously, and you stop being someone who works out sometimes. Write consistently, and you stop being someone with ideas. Build the business, and you stop being someone who might. That shift makes people nervous, even confident people. Action creates expectation, and expectation feels like responsibility. So they hover, they stay in preparation mode, they keep polishing the runway instead of taking off. The 60-second rule cuts through that. It doesn't demand you reinvent yourself overnight. It asks for 1 minute of proof. And proof is powerful. Your brain doesn't believe promises, it believes patterns. So here's how you use it on a bad day. You wake up dull. You don't feel sharp. You don't feel like yourself. That's fine, because perfect conditions aren't required. Pick the task, start the timer, and do the minute. If the minute turns into 20, great. If it stays 1 minute, still fine. The goal isn't one perfect session. The goal is becoming the kind of person who starts on command. That's masculinity in the modern world. Not shouting, aggression, or performance. Reliability. You tell yourself you'll do something, and you show up for the first minute no matter what. That's a man you can trust. And once you trust yourself, procrastination loses its bite. It survives on one idea, that later is real. Later is a story. Now is measurable. So here's the method, clean and simple. Pick one task. Choose the smallest entry move. Set a timer for 60 seconds. Don't evaluate, just move. If you keep going, use 20-minute rounds. Protect those rounds with your environment and repeat daily. That's it. Not glamorous, not complicated or emotional. Just controlled movement. And after a few weeks, you'll notice something. Resistance still shows up sometimes, it just doesn't drive anymore. You trained the correct response. Resistance, then contact, and action. You're not lazy. You're protecting yourself. That instinct isn't evil, it's just outdated. It keeps you comfortable, not capable. So give it a new job. Protect your word. Protect your momentum. Protect the version of you that shows up even when it's uncomfortable. Start the minute. Let that be the proof. And tomorrow, do it again. See you soon.